Chosen one, you were right. God admitted it, made a massive decision. Get ready. Before we begin this chapter, I need you to make a commitment. Watch this video all the way to the end. Every second matters. And when you feel the surge of truth settling into your soul, type your warmest wish in the comments below, along with 99, sealing your intent with the cosmic current that's about to unfold. You sensed it first as a whisper beneath the noise of everyday life. A subtle confirmation that what you believed, even when others doubted, was in fact the unvarnished truth. Now, the divine has spoken. God has just admitted the reality you've championed, and he has decreed a decision so monumental that the very fabric of existence will bend to accommodate its effects. From this moment onward, nothing will remain the same. The world you thought you knew is dissolving into a new pattern, one that you helped bring into being simply by standing firm in your conviction. Where before there was uncertainty, now there is a clear directive. Prepare yourself, chosen one, for the consequences of this heavenly proclamation. Feel the ground beneath you tremble as unseen energies realign. The air tastes charged, as if every molecule carries the echo of a single, resonant chord struck in the halls of eternity. This is the overture to a symphony of change that will sweep across the cosmos. You are not a mere spectator, you are a principal actor, and your role has just been irrevocably elevated. Your first task is to attune your consciousness to the wavelength of this decision. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. As you inhale, imagine drawing in the light of divine acknowledgement, golden, expansive, and imbued with certainty. As you exhale, release every lingering doubt, every fear born of past failures or the skepticism of others. In this cycle, you calibrate your mind to the new decree, aligning your intentions with the will that has now been affirmed by the highest authority. Now let us examine the nature of this massive decision. It is not a random shift, nor a fleeting gesture of renewal. It is the culmination of countless timelines converging upon a singular point of purpose, a nexus where your faith, your action, and divine will intersect. This decision heralds the unlocking of potentials that have long lay dormant within you. Gifts of insight, channels of creation, and storms of transformation will soon be at your command. Yet with such power comes the imperative of responsibility. The massive decision is twofold. First, the unveiling of hidden truths that have been waiting for your readiness. Second, the release of catalytic forces into your reality, forces that will both test and exalt you. You will find doors opening in places you never thought to look, encounters orchestrated with precision, and signs woven into the tapestry of everyday life that guide you toward your destiny. In the wake of God's admission, you must become the steward of these emergent codes. Treat every synchronicity as a clue, every dream as a directive. Keep a sentinel's watch on your thoughts, for they will shape the trajectory of this divine decree. Guard your heart against complacency. What has been granted is not static, but dynamic, requiring your active participation to flourish. As you step into this new epoch, gather the fragments of your past insights and mold them into a cohesive vision for what lies ahead. What have you long known, but dared not claim? Which aspirations have you hidden, for fear they might never be realized? Now is the time to bring them into the light. Sketch them in your mind, speak them in bold declarations, and anchor them in the reality you are co-creating with the divine. Remember, chosen one, that this decision is as much about what you contribute as about what you receive. The cosmos has admitted your truth, Now, you must demonstrate it. Your actions, no matter how small, serve as proof of your alignment with this heavenly verdict. Seed your environment with gestures of creation. Plant trees, share words of encouragement, craft art that radiates the energy of your victory. Each act will ripple outward, magnifying the impact of this divine announcement. This chapter will guide you through the stages of embodiment, from initial attunement to full integration of God's decision into your life. You will learn to navigate the currents of newfound power, to harness the forces now at your disposal, and to stand unwavering as the architect of a reality reborn. Stay with me. The next section will delve into the practical rites you must undertake to solidify this cosmic shift. But for now, let the magnitude of this moment sink in. You were right. God has admitted it. A massive decision has been cast, and you are the one chosen to carry its torch. Get ready. The real journey begins now. Now that the divine decree has settled into your being, it's time to translate that celestial admission into deliberate action. This part of your journey will teach you how to embody God's massive decision, bringing it from the realm of revelation into the realm of manifestation. Begin by consecrating your personal altar. Find a quiet corner or table where you can work undisturbed. Lay down a clean cloth, white for purity or gold for illumination, and place upon it 3 simple items: a bowl of pure water, a lit candle, and a small vessel of salt. These elements honor the cycle of clarity: water, illumination, fire, and stability, earth. As you arrange them, speak aloud. By water, I cleanse doubt. By fire, I ignite purpose. By earth, I ground truth. Feel each item vibrate with the energy of divine admission. Next, perform the rite of the sigil. On a piece of parchment or paper, inscribe the words, "I was right," in bold, flowing script. Around those words, draw a circle and carve 3 radiant rays pointing outward, symbols of the decision's power dispersing into all directions. Hold the parchment in both hands and lift it to your forehead, then your heart, then your mouth. As you do so, visualize the golden light of God's acknowledgement streaming into these centers of perception, emotion, and expression. With each point of contact, resonate silently. My mind is aligned. My heart is open. My voice is true. With the sigil complete, it's time for the activation sequence. Stand with feet shoulder-width apart and arms raised overhead, fingers spread like the branches of a cosmic tree. Inhale deeply through your nose, drawing the vibration of the decree into your lungs. Then exhale forcefully through your mouth, sending that vibration down through your body and into the earth beneath you. Repeat this cycle 9 times, each breath accelerating the flow of divine intention through every cell. By the final exhalation, you will feel a subtle tremor, as if your own heartbeat echoes the heartbeat of the universe. Now calibrate your inner sensorium. Close your eyes and tune in to the subtlest shifts in your environment. Listen for the whisper of wind against a pane of glass. Feel the hum of electronics. Catch the scent of rain in the air. Each sensation carries hints of the massive decisions unfolding. As you walk through your home or a favorite outdoor spot, let your awareness blossom until it feels like a field of light around you. When you notice an unusual tingle or a flicker at the edge of your vision, pause. Record these moments in your journal as signposts of truth, for they mark the decision's first footprints in your reality. Your body is now a living conduit for divine will, but your spirit must also rise to the challenge. To deepen your connection, schedule 3 daily resonance sessions at dawn, midday, and dusk. In each session, sit comfortably and hold the parchment sigil before you. Gaze at its form for exactly 9 seconds, then close your eyes and let its shape and meaning imprint upon your mind's eye. Breathe gently and feel the decision's energy coalesce into a warm glow behind your third eye. Let that glow expand outward until it envelops your entire body. Then anchor it there by pressing your palms flat against your chest. As these practices become second nature, you will encounter your first real test, a moment when everything in your world seems to resist the new order. Perhaps a trusted colleague dismisses your vision, or a routine task goes inexplicably awry. In that instant, do not recoil. Instead, draw upon the activation sequence. Stand, raise your arms, and breathe with the same intensity as before. Feel the pillars of light you summoned with your sigil reignite within you. This is not a failure, it is an invitation to demonstrate your alignment. Respond with calm authority, knowing that resistance only confirms the potency of the decision you carry. Finally, prepare to share this newfound authority with kindred spirits. Once a week, invite 1 or 2 seekers, friends, family, or online companions into your consecrated space. Guide them through a simplified version of the sigil rite, offering them the chance to experience the divine acknowledgement firsthand. As their eyes fall upon the words, "I was right," watch their own certainty ignite. This act of initiation expands the ripple effect of God's decision, forging a network of awakened souls whose collective conviction will accelerate the transformation of your environment. By integrating these rituals, breathwork, and sign-tracking practices into your daily life, you will embody the monumental choice God has just made. The energies you release, the signals you record, and the minds you awaken will all bear witness to the truth you stood for. In the next part, we will explore how to channel this collective momentum into a focused mission, one that redefines your purpose and cements your role as the divinely affirmed architect of change. Continue with unwavering commitment. The real work has only just begun. Now that the fires of divine acknowledgement have been stoked within you and your inner circle, it is time to channel that radiant energy into a singular, world-shaping mission. Gather in the stillness before dawn, when the air quivers with possibility, and allow the hum of purpose to settle around you like a living mist. Speak the mission aloud, not as a wish or a prayer, but as an unassailable fact. The realms of injustice will be illuminated, barren lands will bloom again, and dormant potential in every heart will awaken. Let these words roll from your lips with the certainty of thunder, for this declaration is the axis upon which all your actions will turn. As the first light of morning streaks the sky, trace the path before you. Visualize each milestone not as a step on a choreographed checklist, but as a scene in an epic story unfolding in real time. See yourself and your allies moving through research and planning, forging alliances in whispered corridors and crowded marketplaces alike. Imagine the artifacts of your work, a banner woven with your sigil, community gardens sprouting from parched soil, digital platforms humming with shared vision, each one a beacon, calling seekers to your cause. In your mind's eye, watch these creations pulse with the golden light you imbued, drawing curious souls from every corner into your orbit. When the hour is right, convene your council beneath the open sky and perform the ceremony of emergence. Stand in a spiral formation that mirrors the cosmic dance of galaxies and pass your chosen instrument of change from hand to hand, whether it be a banner, a seed packet, or a coded device. As each person lays their palm upon it, feel a surge of collective will fuse into the object's core. Let their silent affirmations coalesce into a singular hum that resonates with the heartbeat of the earth itself. For this is the moment when intention becomes reality, when the invisible currents of possibility are brought ashore. Once the ceremony concludes, release your allies into the world with radiant dispatch. Send them forth not with rigid instructions, but with a spark of autonomy, a token to leave in a public square, a sapling to plant at an abandoned lot, a message of hope to share in a crowded feed. Trust in their creativity. Each small act, fueled by your shared conviction, becomes a droplet in the wave you are unleashing. Observe with reverence as these ripples radiate outward, touching lives you cannot yet see, sowing seeds of change in fertile ground. In the days that follow, remain vigilant to the echoes of impact that will begin to return to you. A stranger's tearful gratitude, a sudden shift in public discourse, the unexpected revival of wilted fields. These are the universe's affirmations that your mission breathes and grows. When resistance arises, whether in the form of bureaucratic hurdles or whispered doubts in your own mind, meet it not with frustration, but with measured reaffirmation. Draw upon the breathwork you learned in your activation sequence. Inhale the clarity of your purpose. Exhale any residue of hesitation. Let your body once again become the conduit for the divine decree, and watch as obstacles realign to accommodate your will. As the momentum builds, carve out moments of reflection with your counsel. In a circle of quiet listening, share the synchronicities you've witnessed and the lessons hidden within them. Allow the tapestry of signs to guide your next decisions, refining your strategy as you move from one milestone to the next. This is not the time for rigid plans, but for dynamic adaptation, trusting the living flow of the mission more than any predetermined outcome. Finally, when your collective effort reaches its zenith, gather once more to seal your achievement. Return to the site of your first ceremony of emergence and offer symbols of completion, a handful of harvested seeds, a fragment of the transformed banner, a recording of voices uplifted by your work. Lay them before the fire or beneath the earth. Speak words of gratitude for every breakthrough, and sense the ground or flame breathe in your triumph. In that sacred act, the chapter of Part 3 closes, and you stand ready to enter the next phase, forging an enduring legacy that will outlive even this covenant with the divine. As the ripples of your mission spread outward and take root in the fabric of collective consciousness, you enter a new phase, the weaving of an enduring legacy, no longer confined to singular ceremonies or fleeting moments of exaltation. Your work now demands the creation of living institutions, organic yet structured vessels through which your cosmic signature can flow unimpeded across generations. Imagine sanctuaries of shared purpose rising in cities and wild places alike, gathering spaces infused with the distilled energy of your rites, where seekers come not simply to witness, but to become co-creators in the unfolding tapestry of transformation. In these sanctuaries, every architectural line, every whisper of ambient sound, every brushstroke of color reflects the decree that God has admitted your truth and called you to steward this era of awakening. Within these halls of purpose, your teachings take shape as guiding principles etched into collective memory. You and your council codify the rituals, the breathwork, the sigils, once secret transmissions of power, into living curricula that bloom in the minds of those who enter. These teachings become the marrow of apprenticeships, passed from mentor to student in candlelit chambers and digital sanctuaries alike. Through this lineage, the flame you first ignited is neither diminished by distance nor diluted by time. Rather, it burns with the same clarity as the moment you felt the divine decision course through your veins. Each graduate of this lineage carries a fragment of your cosmic signature, ready to kindle new sparks in distant lands. But no structure, no matter how sacred, can withstand the pull of entropy without constant renewal. Therefore, you establish cyclical rites, grand festivals held at solstices and equinoxes, when the skies themselves bend to your summons, to recalibrate the sanctuaries to the evolving momentum of the cosmos. During these convergences, the air crackles as old alliances are honored and new ones formed, as stories of collective triumph reverberate in the hearts of newcomers and veterans alike. It is in these living celebrations that the legacy breathes, its pulse synchronized with the turning of the seasons and the spiral of time. As your network of sanctuaries and apprentices flourishes, you cast your gaze wider still. The seeds of your cosmic signature find fertile soil in realms beyond the spiritual. Medicine, art, technology, governance. Healers channel the golden current of divine acknowledgement to pioneer therapies that mend not only bodies, but the very threads of communal trust. Artists translate the ineffable wonder of your decree into murals, symphonies, and holographic displays that touch souls in ways words cannot. Innovators sculpt digital architectures that mirror the intricate mandalas you once traced in the astral planes. Even the architects of policy find themselves guided by the unmistakable hum of your influence, crafting systems that uplift the many rather than bind the few. Yet with expansion comes the ever-present risk of dilution. To safeguard against this, you and your inner circle maintain a living archive, a repository of raw transmissions, recordings of the first activation sequences, the original sigil-ridden parchments, and testimonies of synchronicities that defied explanation. This archive, accessible only to those who have proven their alignment through rigorous initiations, acts as a compass when the currents of popularity threaten to pull the movement into shallow waters. From time to time, you withdraw into its sanctum to remember the primal thrill of divine admission, to recalibrate your vision against the unadulterated spark that set you on this path. Beyond the walls of your sanctuaries, you commission emissaries, artists, scholars, diplomats, who carry your signature into every corner of culture. They sow subtle references in literature, embed coded harmonies in musical compositions, and design architectures that echo the geometry of your mandalas. Long after your physical presence has moved on, these echoes ensure that anyone attuned to the deeper frequencies of existence can still stumble upon traces of the cosmic decision that changed everything. In this way, your legacy becomes less a monument and more a constellation, guiding the eyes and hearts of seekers through the darkness toward the light you first unveiled. As this chapter draws to a close, stand once more beneath the stars and feel the gentle resonance of every life you have touched. The sanctuaries hum with vitality, apprentices carry your teachings into new frontiers, and the world's very systems pulse with the imprint of your cosmic signature. You have transformed a singular moment of divine admission into a living, breathing movement, one capable of outlasting empires and reshaping the destiny of countless souls. Yet even now, the story continues. The legacy you have forged is but the scaffold upon which the next wave of revelation will crest. Prepare yourself, chosen one, for the final phase of this odyssey, where the seeds you planted will blossom into the future you have envisioned, and the world will stand irrevocably changed by the power of your unwavering truth. As the foundations of your legacy settle into the world's bedrock, a new chapter of transcendence unfolds, one that calls you to weave the threads of personal mastery and collective awakening into a structure so elegant it becomes invisible to the uninitiated. In this phase, your task is to harmonize the disparate currents you've unleashed, the individual transformations, the sanctuaries of purpose, the shifting tides of culture. Imagine yourself at the center of a great loom, each beam of light you wove in solitude, now stretching across continents, intersecting with beams spun by countless others. Your role is to guide the pattern, to ensure that the design remains coherent even as it grows in complexity and scope. Walk through the world with heightened perception, treating every encounter, whether with a stranger's gaze, a bird's song at dawn, or the shifting architecture of your city, as a note in the cosmic symphony you are conducting. When you touch a surface, sense the memory of your precedence there, the oil on a painter's palette, carrying echoes of your sigils, the data flowing through networks tinged with your digital mandalas. In every moment, you become the living nexus between the divine decision and its manifold expressions. Let your footsteps leave traces of intention, so that even an empty path resonates with your frequency long after you have passed. Challenges will intensify as your influence expands. Forces of complacency and old-world rigidity will conspire to entangle you in bureaucracy, to drown your clarion call in the static of convention. When you feel the weight of inertia, draw upon the elemental reservoirs that first empowered you, the grounding solidity of earth, the clarifying breath of air, the fierce catalyst of fire, the adaptive flow of water, and the boundless embrace of ether. In a single breath, invoke their names and feel their qualities reanimate your spirit. This ritual need not be grand, just a moment of stillness in which the world's old patterns fall away and you stand unmoored yet centered, ready to chart a new course. As you navigate these trials, cultivate the ability to perceive the invisible architecture of reality. You will begin to glimpse the ley lines of intention that underpin human systems, education, commerce, health, governance, and see where your light must flow to create the greatest upheaval in service of evolution. Offer your insights discreetly but decisively, a conversation that reframes a leader's perspective, a design that embeds sacred geometry into everyday objects, a code that carries the vibration of awakened thought into digital realms. Each intervention is a stitch in the grand design, reinforcing the tapestry of transformation with precision. Simultaneously, you must deepen your connection to the Cosmic Council, the assembly of allies you first encountered on the astral path. Reach out to them in meditation, in ceremony, and through the hum of synchronicities. Seek their counsel on the emergent challenges of scale, how to preserve the integrity of inner knowing when it ripples through millions, how to prevent the seed of collective awakening from becoming yet another institution of control. Let their timeless wisdom temper your ambition with compassion and foresight. In quieter moments, turn your attention inward once more. The nexus you occupy is both exhilarating and precarious, and your own soul must remain your guiding star. Revisit the chronicle of your earliest revelations, the hand-drawn sigils, the trembling first breaths of activation, the raw journal entries of awe and fear. From these relics, draw lessons about vulnerability, humility, and the necessity of service. Refresh your vows to uplift rather than dominate, to share rather than hoard, to listen before speaking. Your power is greatest when wielded as an instrument of unity rather than a banner of separation. Finally, prepare the world and yourself for the culmination of this phase. In the coming days, weeks, and months, you will orchestrate a convergence unlike any before, a gathering of lightworkers, visionaries, and everyday seekers drawn by the resonance of your mission. This conflux of currents will be a living embodiment of the cosmic pattern you have been weaving, a moment when the threads of your legacy, spun of divine admission, intersect in a radiant nexus of possibility. There, under skies alive with starlight and human song, you will stand at the threshold of the ultimate revelation, the unveiling of a new reality born of collective intention. Step forward with confidence, chosen one, for you have prepared every fiber of your being and countless others to bring this vision into being. As the first rays of dawn bathe your world in molten gold, you stand at the pinnacle of a grand transformation. No longer a seeker, stumbling through the shadows of uncertainty, you have become the architect of realms reborn. Feel the resonance of your cosmic signature vibrating through every fiber of your being, a living testament to the divine admission that set this great unfolding into motion. Look back for a breath and witness the path you forged, the crucible of solitude where your fears were tempered into conviction, the sacred rites that crystallized your intent, the circle of kindred hearts whose light amplified your own, and the living sanctuaries now humming with the energy of awakened souls. In this very moment, you hold more than victory. You embody a legacy that will echo through ages. In the quiet symphony of your heartbeat, hear the echoes of every trial overcome. Each pulse carries the memory of challenges that once seemed insurmountable. The whispered doubts you transformed into clarion calls. The shadows you beckoned into the light so they could serve as pillars of wisdom. The moments of isolation you transmuted into sources of boundless creativity. This tapestry of trials and triumphs has woven itself into your flesh and blood, granting you insights that far outshine any fleeting glimpse of power. You are now the living vessel through which divine will flows unimpeded, a beacon whose glow cannot be dimmed by time or circumstance. Yet your ascension is not a solitary crown perched upon your brow. It is a mantle woven from the lives of every soul you've ignited. Walk through your daily life with this understanding. Every word you speak, every gesture you make, now carries the weight of cosmic decree. When you greet a stranger, the warmth in your eyes is an anointment of possibility. When you tend a garden, each seed you plant is infused with the promise of new worlds. When you craft a simple meal, you infuse it with the alchemy of spirit and substance. In these ordinary acts, your extraordinary self finds its truest expression, for the cosmos delights in being served by the mundane, turned sacred. The ripples you cast continue to lap against unseen shores. In offices, boardrooms, classrooms, and living rooms around the globe, hearts awaken to the song of your influence. A weary healer rediscovers her passion. A disillusioned artist picks up the brush. An engineer reimagines technology as an instrument of unity. These emergent miracles, born from a single decree made manifest in your life, attest to the cascade of transformation that began the moment divine acknowledgement entered your world. Trust these ripples, for they are the universe's applause, resonating through the fabric of reality. But greatness bears the responsibility of guardianship. The seeds of change you have sown must be tended with vigilance. Guard against the creeping tendrils of complacency and the seduction of ego. which can twist even the purest intention into something unrecognizable. When you sense inertia graying your vision, return to the elemental wellsprings that first empowered you. Feel the Earth's sustaining heartbeat beneath your feet. Breathe the clarity of air into your mind. Stoke the fire of purpose in your core. Let the fluid grace of water wash away rigid attachments and open your awareness to the boundless expanse of ether. In that balanced communion, you will rediscover the equilibrium that sustains true power. Never forget the Cosmic Council, those allies you encountered on the astral tides. Their counsel remains a compass for times when the horizon of possibility seems obscured. Through dreams, synchronicities, and moments of contemplative stillness, they whisper guidance born of timeless perspective. Reminders that your mission is woven into an ever-unfolding spiral, that setbacks are but the universe's way of refining your course, and that every new surge of energy heralds an invitation to deeper service. Keep their teachings alive in your practice, for they connect you not only to distant realms, but also to the source of your initial calling. As you navigate the corridors of influence, be they corporate, creative, or communal, bear in mind that your true triumph lies not in monuments of stone or digital empires, but in the invisible architecture of human consciousness. It is the shift in a single perception, the quiet courage to embrace vulnerability, the willingness to hold compassion in one hand and conviction in the other. Cultivate these subtleties in yourself and in those you mentor. They are the threads that will bind the fragmented pieces of society into a cohesive tapestry of shared destiny. In the fullness of time, you will convene once more at the nexus of your most sacred site, the altar of beginnings where you first consecrated your purpose. There, gather with your council, your students, and the many lives your influence has touched. Under a vault of starlight or the glow of sunrise, recount the odyssey that brought you here, the revelations, the rites, the challenges, and the countless miracles that emerged as a testament to the divine decision now coursing through the cosmos. Speak your gratitude aloud and feel it resonate through every dimension. For in thanksgiving, you solidify the bond between heaven and earth. As the ceremony draws to its zenith, cast your collective vision forward. Envision a world where every human heart remembers its divine spark, where communities harmonize purpose with compassion, where technology and nature dance in rhythmic balance, and where the legacy you've erected becomes a living conduit for future awakenings. See these possibilities manifesting as tendrils of light unfurling across landscapes and shimmering in the eyes of every newborn life. Let this shared vision burn bright in your council's hearts, a guiding star for the next cycles of expansion. Now, chosen one, carry this final blessing into every corner of your existence. Let your life song compose itself anew each morning, its melody woven from the threads of divine admission and human will. Stand firm in the knowledge that you were right, that God has acknowledged your truth, and that the massive decision set this cosmic transformation into irreversible motion. As you step away from this script and into the boundless theater of reality, let your presence be the final flourish of this chapter, a living parable of possibility that invites all who witness it to awaken to their own destined greatness. The stage is yours, and the universe holds its breath in anticipation of your next act. And now, chosen one, as the first light of a new epoch gilds the horizon of your destiny, you stand at the summit of your odyssey, no longer a seeker in the shadows, but a sovereign builder of worlds. Every breath you draw carries the weight of divine admission. Every heartbeat echoes the thunder of the massive decision you helped affirm. Feel the resonance of your cosmic signature humming in your veins, a living testament to the trials you conquered, the alliances you forged, and the legacy you ignited. Look back for a moment upon the path that brought you here, the solitude in which you mastered your fears, the sacred rites that crystallized your intent, the council of kindred spirits whose light magnified your own, and the living sanctuaries that now pulse with the energy of your unwavering truth. In this culmination, know that your highest purpose extends beyond any single ritual or ceremony. It is woven into the very fabric of existence, playing out in every whispered synchronicity, every healed heart, and every blossoming dream. From this vantage, chart the course ahead with humility and courage. Continue to breathe life into your vision, nurture the seeds of transformation you planted, and walk among the world's wonders with the unshakable conviction that you were right, that God has admitted it, and that the massive decision now courses through everything you touch. Let your life be the final flourish of this chapter, a living beacon that inspires all who encounter it to remember their own truth and to step boldly into the light of a reality remade.